Hello class, welcome back to another flip lesson. Today we're going to talk about comparing and ordering fractions, decimals, and percents. We've already been working on converting our fractions and our decimals and percents to equal values, equal rational numbers, so that now we can compare and order them. So make sure you have a pencil and your note sheet. It should be a packet of 2 pages, and we're going to go through the whole lesson together. Before we start, you need to make sure that you have completed the Review It section. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and pause the video and complete that section. So let's try the Know It section. These are the things that you need to remember and know, and there are steps on how to compare decimals. So we're going to start by comparing the whole number part. And once we've compared the whole number part, we want to line up the number by place values. Then we want to make decimals have equal place values by adding zeros. Then we'll compare just the decimal part. Now these last 3 parts, we might not even have to do those parts depending on the whole numbers, because we can compare whole numbers and decide which one is the greater value. So looking at 37 and 99, we know that 99 is greater than 37. Once that's done, there's no need to look at the decimal place values, because the whole numbers have already decided for us which one is the greater value. So let's look at some numbers that do have decimal place values, and we want to line them up by their place values, which means basically you're just going to line them up by their decimal value. So let's start with this first one. We have 5.27 and 5.2. We're comparing them. We want to know which one is the greater one. So I want to line up the decimals right here, and I have 5 in the ones place and 2 in the tenths and 7 in the hundredths place. Let's try the other one. 5 in the ones place, and I have a 2 in the tenths place. Now they look very close, but if you notice, this only has a tenth. It does not have a hundredths value. This one has a hundredths value. So when we see that happen, it is okay to put a 0. So now they look similar. The whole numbers are the same, so we have no choice. We can't compare from our whole numbers, so we do have to check our tenths, hundredths, and thousands. And when we do that, we are just comparing the fractional value, the partial value. This is 27 hundredths, and this is 20 hundredths. Well, which one is greater, 27 or 20? And that would be 27 hundredths. So let's try another example. We have 99.06 and 99.60. So we are going to write, first we compare the whole numbers. Those are the same. So now I have to look at my decimal values. 99.06 and 99.60. So again, since the whole numbers are the same, we look at the decimal values and we compare just the decimal portions. So we're comparing 0.06 to 60. So which one is the greater number? Is it the 6 or is it the 60? 6 hundredths or 60 hundredths? It is 60 hundredths. Let's try our third example. 11.345 and 11.43. First we compare the whole numbers. Those are the same, so I can't make a decision which one's bigger yet. So I'm going to write them, line up my decimals so that I can compare my place values. So since our whole numbers are the same, we're just going to move on over to our decimal values and compare our decimal portion of our number. And we have 345 thousandths and 43 hundredths. Well, let's add this 0 here so we are comparing thousandths to thousandths. 345 thousandths or 430 thousandths? Which one is bigger? It helps sometimes just to cover up the whole number since they're the same and look at those two numbers. And 430 is bigger than 345. So I have 11.43 is larger than 11.345. Okay, let's go to the next side. Now that we know how to compare, I want you to go ahead and do the try it section at the top of the page. You can pause the video, give that a try. The last one does not have a table. You don't have to have a table. You can go ahead and line up the decimals without this table here. Just make sure when you write the numbers, your decimals are all lined up. Once you've done the try it section, we are going to do another. This should not say review it. This should say know it. You need to know this part as well. So when we do the know it section, we want to, now that we can compare them, we want to order our fractions and our decimals and our percents. First thing we want to do is we're going to convert them. We've been working on that for quite a few days now. So you should be able to convert your percents and fractions